kidding. I have this big painting coming up, and it's like literally the biggest canvas that I've ever done, especially with oil paints. Like, I've done big drawings before, but I feel like big paintings are just a whole nother like hurdle, and I don't know, it's just, I'm really excited for it, and like half scared but mostly excited. I don't know, I guess I wanted to tell you how I got here, because my most recent painting was fairly small, like this big ish, this big. That worked really well for the composition of it. Here, it's right over here. I'll get it like this. That works really well for the composition of it. And this new one, it's so huge in comparison. Let me get that too. I'm so excited. This is how big the next one is. So I'm going from something that is literally a fraction of the size, and hopefully it doesn't take me like 3 years to complete. But yeah, basically I guess I'm just answering the question of how do I get inspired? How does this even come to me? Certain things just stick out in my brain and leave a lasting impression. Like, okay, for this one, it's gonna be a horse in some way and be very like dramatic, have a lot of like blue in it. I saw a TikTok that essentially was very similar, and except it was like the big horse face, and the video was basically showing you the painting, but half of it was obscured by like this sheer curtain, and it was just like so cool. And I can't find the video because it's a TikTok, and once you see one, you see 100, so then whatever if you miss it, you miss it, you know? But basically, I saw that one maybe like a month ago, maybe less, and that image just really is sticking with me, and I couldn't shake it out of my head. So then I was like, okay, obviously I have to do something with this. Let me come up with some ideas. And another thing that I am, I guess, combining, and so the way that it works is I have that original image in my head, and then it goes from that to, okay, how can I put this out into the world in an actual way? And that's where like all the pieces start falling in. Everything just comes together, you know? So the TikTok informed the like general vibe that I was going for, and then this next part informs like more of the composition, because so yesterday I was sketching it out and I was like, okay, how am I gonna make this work? I want like the head right up front. So I had this idea and I drew a little thumbnail, but then I was like, hold on, there's one part missing. And I've been thinking a lot about wings recently, sort of just like propelling myself forward and like taking a leap of, like, I don't know, just within my own journey, wings are like pretty symbolic to me, like taking a leap. So I was like, okay, I want to include that somehow with the wings, like very like angel wings, like, but slap it onto the back of the horse. So then I was like, okay, well, how do I fit that? How do I put the wings on the horse while still retaining a similar composition? And if I were to keep the original idea that I had, you wouldn't be able to see the wings in the painting, or it wouldn't be as like stark as, or like you would only see like a sliver of it, and so it wouldn't be good enough. Like, that's not enough wing. So then I was sketching a couple horses, and I found this really cool reference picture where it's sort of like jumping in the snow, and I was like, oh shoot, slap some wings onto the back of that, and now I have our painting. It's really cool to me because a lot of times people think about inspiration as just like a lightning bolt flash of information. You get the idea, and they're like, oh shoot, I have it all figured out. But I feel like in a practical sense, especially as like a practicing artist and someone who needs inspiration or a really good idea, like very, very often, because I'm painting and creating so often. Let's say like if I were only making like one painting every 3 years, then I would have that like lightning bolt flash. But because I'm creating at such frequency, I use the things around me as inspiration to inform what I will be creating next. So, like seeing the TikTok, for example, but then also like having the wings in the back of my head for months. Like, I wasn't even thinking that I need to incorporate it into a painting. It sort of just all fell into place neatly as soon as I started listening to, I guess, my creative intuition, you could call it. Yeah, and I think inspiration comes really easily to me, and it's nice. It's not something that you can force. So if I'm ever having a day where I'm like, I need a video idea or I need a drawing idea, then like scrolling on Pinterest for an hour doesn't work, because then I'm just looking at all of those pictures and my eyes are glazing over, and then next thing you know, it's been 4 hours. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I guess I'm saying like I have to put in the work, but it's not really work. It's, can you hear that? Bro's really not helping me keep my train of thought. Sometimes he's here when it's like raining and we're like, okay, respect, like you're working hard or whatever, you know, trying to sell that ice cream. But man, no one's coming out because it's raining. Please go away. I don't want to listen to the same song over and over again. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I needed to mention the dog painting that I just showed you. That the inspiration came to me like 2 years ago. 1 year ago? 2 years ago? I forget. Wait, I have it right here. I had a picture of I found this picture because I was probably searching up like some like dog drawing reference or whatever, and then this like veterinary like hospital picture came up of like dog teeth. So then I was like, dude, that's a sick picture. Screenshot that. I never came back to it because the art that I wanted, like, I couldn't really get the full picture, you know, like the vision didn't really come to me. So then I was like, okay, whatever, forget about that. Next thing you know, I'm looking back at my sketchbook and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot about that picture. Let me scroll back in my camera roll however many times and found that picture. And then I was like, wait, I have the perfect canvas for this. And it was that weird size one from before, because things just magically fall into place like that, and it's really beautiful. I don't know who watches this, but if you're looking for some inspiration, like sometimes it just like falls into your lap like that, like just the pieces fall in, and other times, like with this most recent one with the horse painting, it's like that, pick something that you thought of recently or you liked recently that someone else did, and it's just like sticking it out in your mind, draw it or something, and then be like, okay, what can I do with this? And then you'll be like, oh shoot, I actually had that idea from before, from like 3 months ago. I'm gonna incorporate that together and mush it, and then it's gonna turn into this whole new beautiful thing. I saw, like, I really like when people say, like, oh yeah, bro, I use AI, actual imagination, because, you know, my brain is just so fire like that. This is the original computer for ideas. Right up here in my noggin, I was born with it, dude. Like, I don't need some computer who's stealing other people's ideas to tell me what to do. Basically, I'm super hyped about this painting and trying to keep this good energy going, you know? I talk about things that are important to me on here, and obviously art is pretty important to me, but I don't know. It's hard to make videos about art because it's like, what even, because I don't want to show my process. I don't want to be like, here's how I did this, because then it's, I don't know, I feel like it takes away from me experiencing the joy of the actual creation if I have to also focus on filming it and being like, oh, was that a good shot, or was I in the front of the camera the whole time because I was too concentrated on what I was doing on the canvas. So please subscribe so that I can continue making beautiful art, and I will show you eventually. But for now, I'll keep talking about random things that I feel like talking about once a week. And I'm also posting my monthly vlogs, so check those out too, because those are more like general, like casual life things, and I like those. Those are fun to make, and it's also good to look back on to see what I did. We're also thinking about doing more like beach days soon, hopefully, so you'll see some of that footage. Yeah, but basically keep the inspiration going, you know? Tell me something that's been inspiring you in the comments. I really value like discussion on here. Also, speaking of inspiration, if you want to be inspired by stuff that I'm making, I have a Substack that you can go check out. It's a lot of my art just concentrated in one place. I'm working on building up like the archive and posting more on that. So as I create more artwork, more things will be there. Yeah, basically just in general, very excited for that. Posting on there is really fun for me. It's nice having something where I don't have to talk and like be on. It's very like meditative for me to be able to type out my thoughts instead of having to speak them out loud, which I like sometimes too. It's really good to have both, you know? Switch things up a little bit. It's like having a job where you go out into the field but you're also on the computer. Good balance, you know? And I'm all about balance. Stay tuned for any updates on the horse painting. It might be in like the monthly vlogs, or if I decide to make like another video like this about it. Who knows? I kind of am flying by the seat of my pants these days. But I'm having fun, which is most important. I will see you next week. Thank you for watching.